Well, let's be honest here for a moment. We all like Warhammer. Most of us. Those that are into the hobby. Those that even care anymore about Warhammer. So, they launched this thing called the Warhammer 40k. The app. Of course, it has this amazing name calling it the app. But where it's supposed to be like Battlescribe. It's something along the lines. You can make your army datasheets, look up rules and whatnot. But the thing is terrible. Like, there are people that will go on like, there are Warhammer fans that are like, no, don't judge Games Workshop because they're doing their best and it's new, and all the Warhammer fans are such crybabies and whatever, they don't like anything and they will complain about anything. Gaha, incels, no life, whatever. And I could go on with the list, but at this point it will be just stupid, like most of the people that argue that Games Workshop does not deserve criticism. Trust me, it deserves all the criticism in the world. And here's a funny thing: it's on merit. They deserve it to the point, to the goddamn point. Now, I wish I could show you how the app works, but you're just gonna have to believe me. Or I mean, I might do something at some point. Whatever. You download this app, you sing in, which of course things are pretty normal. And then let's say you want to go for Blood Angels. I go for my Blood Angels. I go to datasheets, to look up the datasheet of one of my things, and everything's locked. Everything is locked unless you pay, and of course, unless you pay. You want to know what the word one does? Nope. The basic units such as a Rhino? Nope. You want to see what what did they have here? Something you would have like an assault squad. Yeah, an assault squad for Blood Angels. Of course, if needed. I run two or three big ones. Nope. You do not have access to this content, but do not panic. Discover more rules and content at our site. They lock. If you're not gonna subscribe to their €4 per month in this case, I guess it's around like $5, whatever other currencies, you're not gonna get anything. Now you might say that, oh, this is for the app. Of course, you're not gonna get free stuff. You're supposed to pay. True, but to that I say no. To that I say a big no, because if you go to look at anything else, for example, I'm still going for the Codex Blood Angels, Psychic Powers, Blood Boy, nope, same. Warlord trait, same. Weapons, everything's locked, even the Assault Cannon. The Angelus Bolt Gun, locked. The Absolver Bolt Pistol, locked. Assault Plasma Incinerator, blocked. Astartes Grenade Thrower, blocked. Astartes Shotgun, of course blocked. And etc. Okay, then you might be saying that it's a free app. Well, you might be saying, no, it's not a free app. It's an app where you need to pay. You subscribe to it and you get the bonus of it. Then why not put a price standard on it on the Google Apps magazine? Be like, hey, pay this and you can have access to it, which would be a really better design choice. You pay this, you get access to it. No. It has to be every month. It has to be every month because that's how Games Workshop wants to make money. By squeezing everything they can out of people. But okay. Let's say you need to do that you have to subscribe to get normal things like data sheets or information that are just one click away. Okay, fine. Core rules. What do the core rules do? Open up a PDF in Google Documents. I joke you not, it opens up a PDF in Google Documents. No, the rules are not inside the app, no. You need 74 megabytes, which might be really nothing for some phones. Might be something big for some other phones, depending on budget. To get the rules. But of course, you don't get to open them on the app because you've wasted what's it called? You wasted resources for now. No, you open a Google document of a PDF that they put in the app so you can open. So basically, this is just the app opening the document with more steps. You know how I can do this? I can download the PDF, the goddamn PDF. I can use an Excel sheet. I can use Battlescribe. I think I can use a few more applications, or pen and paper. Yeah, pen and paper sounds good. You might be like, where do you get the books? Well, here's a secret. The books are the thing. Now, they say that at some point, you can get the books anywhere. They say at some point they will add codes. So you buy something, you enter the code, and you have access to it. But that's ridiculous. Now, I get the idea. Make it like that, so it has sense. But for example, okay, the app has weird things in it. It goes, it's, I think, updated to 8th edition, not to 9, because we still have Codex supplement for Imperial Fist, Iron Hands, Raven Guard, Salamanders, etc. But really, they could have put a price tag from the beginning. Download this. And maybe that wouldn't have been that much of a problem. But here's the idea. If you're gonna ask for money, then what you're gonna give me instead should be a good thing. If I pay something, I expect to have my money's worth. If I buy a pair of shoes, I'm not gonna buy a pair of shoes to use it only once and then throw it away to buy another one. Correct? I think it makes sense. The app currently has a rating of 1.2 stars. 1.2. And let's be honest. Games Workshop is not a small company. Games Workshop is a small company since Warhammer went international. You might say there are little players here and there, but they're breaking out and they're not a small company anymore. It's not like they're two dudes in a basement doing miniatures and rules for them. Yeah. And yet, this is not the first example of a dodgy product. And people complain about the UI design for that. There's data missing even if you buy it, even if you subscribe to the dumb model. It's not organized by army, it's organized by books. So of course you're gonna go to Codex supplement for one thing, or gonna go to the Space Marine one for you're gonna go to the Space Marine one for something. You're gonna go to the Psychic Awakening specific book for something else, which in of itself creates more problems than it solves. Now, it's understandable that, we all know that Games Workshop likes to put their tendrils on everything. They are very protective of their IP. They really want to milk that cow only for themselves. Like, they can't even fit a communist idea because they want to keep it all for themselves and not give anything to somebody else. Makes sense. It's a capitalist world. You want to grow as a company, make money, make profit. But the moment you start to act like EA, where they're trying to milk even more money while doing dodgy things, let's just say some people will jump off that boat. Now, of course, like EA didn't go down the moment they started doing stupid stuff. Neither is Games Workshop, in all honesty. There are still people that defend it, and it's not the first time Games Workshop does things that really are bad for you as a consumer. I had my bad experiences with them, but I'll keep them confidential at the moment. They're solved. I don't know how that works, but just to say this, Games Workshop has this problem of trying to milk things, and they've released products that have either mistakes in them, and people act like it's normal. Like, it's like every other company can make a mistake, but when Games Workshop does it, everybody comes to their defense like they're trying to find a good way. Like they're a female blood elf that's asking for mats for some raid. No, that's a bad one. I know. Everybody comes to their defense, like Anita Sarkeesian complaining about death threats. There's more for it, but everybody likes to flock and try to defend it. Like, they ignore criticism, which of course a lot of it is valid when it comes to Games Workshop. You don't create a loyal fan base like this just like they have by just throwing around random things. And of course there will be people who will defend it, but they gather so much like it's some sort of saint. Like, Games Workshop can do no harm, but lately, let's be honest, Games Workshop lately has been with one foot in the hole when it comes to mistakes. It's one straight foot, one in the downer, one straight foot, one in the hole. Ain't that good. Now, I really wanted to also read some of the reviews for this, but people have a lot of things to say. Let's just go over some of the shorter ones to not make this drag out even more. This app is marketed as game changing. It is anything but. It achieves the bare minimum necessary to be usable, but cannot justify paying for a subscription yet. And the only thing you can do with it for free is view a PDF of the core rules. Unless you need digital references to the 8th edition codices and books, just download the core rules and skip this one. Moving to another one. Without subscribing, the content of this app consists of a link to a Google Doc of the core rules, which don't even include army building and terrain, minus two fairly essentially components of the game. Viewing it as a Google Doc renders it largely useless. It is slow to load individual pages, awkward to navigate, and lacks useful features such as links to easily find the relevant rules. All other content is currently held behind the £5 paywall, okay, including rules that you may have already purchased. Terrible implementation. The core rules is simply a PDF viewer that downloads the PDF. If I wanted to view the core rules in PDF, I'll use the PDF viewer on my laptop. The core rules should have been integrated into the app with a hyperlink reference, and so the text can be resized and scaled to screen. EA not zoom in on PDF and have to scroll. I'm also hearing from others who paid for the subscription that there are lots of inconsistencies or incorrect information. Poorly executed. On a Warhammer Facebook group, they had a photo of a data sheet from some elder, or I guess vessel, whatever. I don't play elders. I don't even fight elders. Where it had like a strength of 65. I think that's what he's referring. Now, let's this one. This is a pretty weak release. Given the strength of other content that's come with the new edition, it's very unclear how to unlock the supplements I already own. It's being released without the list builder and the core rules just linked to a Google Drive PDF that views within the app. Clunky and cheap, looking almost like a university mobile app project, which it does. Holding out hope for better updates, but in its current state, I would not be enthused to subscribe. Well, I'm gonna stop with the rating reviews there because everybody gets the point that's bad. I would honestly recommend skipping it and going for Battlescribe, because Battlescribe offers you the opportunity to see what your things do for free, to make your own list. For free, of course. It doesn't have the rules. Oh no, what can we do? It doesn't have the rules, but you can still get the rules. Battlescribe is a much better app, 10 times better. It doesn't have this problem. And you might say, oh, it's a new app and whatever, and Games Workshop is love. No. Games Workshop, at the point they're in right now, with their money they're making, they should not afford to make apps like this that are wonky. A game developer shouldn't afford to make, bad video games that need day one DLC or patch to make everything better. This shouldn't be a standard. No, you can't be forgiven for being dumb and releasing a bad product, even in its beta form. I mean, in the beta form, you should really look for the bugs in it and not have a bad product in and of itself. Be like, hey, here we made this, test it. Like in the beta, aspect, you should really have a core idea of what's happening. And it's clear they don't.